In these uncertain times, the Caribbean's future is a topic that causes anxiety in leaders and citizens alike. We worry about the economy, about climate change, about crime. But a far more fundamental concern is about food security. There is no future if there is no food. This is where Professor Leonard O'Garro, the 2012 Anthony N. Sabga Caribbean Awards for Excellence Laureate in Science and Technology, has made his mark, using science to directly affect regional food security.
The approach to food security is on two levels. One, of course, is the use of scientific research to improve the crop productivity. That is to say, in my case, really just introducing new crop types which are better able to withstand diseases and to cope better.
But as in everything else, science has made interventions in the area of food production that are not necessarily for the better. Hence, there is a need for a new area of regulation called biosafety to make sure scientific input, like genetic engineering, in agriculture has no deleterious effects.
Genetic engineering produces life forms which we have never seen before, and we're not quite so sure how they will behave in the environment. Also, one's not quite so sure what happens to people when they eat them, particularly over long term. The biosafety that I'm particularly concerned about is biosafety pertaining to genetically modified products.
Professor O'Garro is now the University of the West Indies Senior International Consultant on Biosafety and Biotechnology. He has worked with the UN to formulate and implement regional biosafety protocols, but he did not get to this point quickly or easily. Born in rural St. Vincent, his academic gifts were clear early on, and he was a scholarship student to both the St. Vincent Grammar School and the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill. Professor O'Garro started his career as a lecturer at Cave Hill in 1988, and in 1999 was appointed Professor of Plant Pathology. One of his traits, unusual among scientists, was his desire to apply science to everyday life. This led to his being known in agricultural circles as the plant doctor.
The significance of his work is that through very basic research, he didn't go for the blue sky solution of researchers. What he did was actually look for areas that affected the productivity of the agricultural industry that means so much to us.
In 2009, NIHRST recognized Professor O'Garro as one of the Caribbean's icons in science, technology, and innovation. Professor O'Garro has been extremely influential in the research to reduce the spread of diseases affecting Caribbean agricultural crops which are crucial to countries in this region. And I am truly pleased that he is now being further recognized by the Caribbean Awards for Excellence.
But like most gifted people, Professor O'Garro was an inspiring teacher, and several of his students and protégés are now distributed through ministries of agriculture throughout the region.
Let's say you were approaching a problem and there was a ticklish question and you came in for consultation. He was able to cut through that and help you move forward. So he solved problems. Over the past 5 to 10 years, his work has improved our production of certain crops that we export, and I'm talking about pepper, tomato, yams, and which we are trying to increase in terms of our productivity for local consumption as well.
In addition to his practical work in putting science to the service of the region's people, Professor O'Garro has maintained an impressive academic record. He has published widely in scholarly journals ranked in the top 10 in his field, and he is highly regarded internationally among his peers.
I think the areas that are the most influential of where he's worked have been in this group of diseases, of bacterial spot diseases of crops, and that's probably been the largest portion of his publications, despite working on a really wide range of things. I think in that area particularly, he's well known, and I'd say particularly by the scientific community in North America.
The award given to Leonard O'Garro is not only right for the Caribbean, but it manifests in many ways what is right and important about us.
For these reasons, Professor Leonard O'Garro has been named the Anthony N. Sabga Caribbean Awards for Excellence Laureate in Science and Technology for 2012.